Today's documentary, The Phantom of the Arctic, the SS Baychimo's ghostly odyssey. The sea did not claim her. That was the first impossible fact. On October 15th, 1931, off the stark, frozen coast of Alaska, Captain Sydney Cornwell and his crew made the only rational decision. Their ship, the SS Baychimo, was being strangled. Pack ice had seized the steel-hulled vessel in its crystalline vise, groaning and creaking with a sound that promised only one outcome: a slow, crushing descent into the black, sub-zero waters of the Arctic Ocean. With supplies running low and a brutal winter fast approaching, they abandoned her. They trekked over the treacherous ice to the town of Barrow, looking back only to see the dark silhouette of their ship, a coffin waiting to be buried. Our story begins not with its end, but with its birth, in an era when the world was stitched together by steel and steam. The vessel that would become the Baychimo was launched in 1914 from the Swedish port of Gothenburg, originally christened the Elfin. She was a workhorse, not a beauty. 1,322 tons, 230 feet long, a steam-powered cargo vessel with a steel hull designed for durability. For a decade, Captain Cornwell and his crew knew her rhythms intimately. The thrum of her single-propeller engine, the smell of coal smoke and salt. They navigated the dizzying maze of sea ice, a landscape that shifted daily, where a clear channel could become a prison in hours. In the summer of 1931, she completed a successful trading run, her hold packed with a precious cargo of furs. As autumn's chill descended, Captain Cornwell pointed her bow east from Barrow, Alaska, aiming for her home port in Vancouver. They were racing the season, and they lost. For 2 agonizing weeks, the crew waited, hoping for a shift in the wind or a thaw that never came. The ice tightened its grip, and on October 8th, a panicked lookout reported water in the hold. Fearing the ship would be crushed imminently, Cornwell made a desperate call. He radioed for help. A courageous bush pilot named Frank Bennett twice braved the elements to airlift 22 of the crew to safety. 15 men, including Cornwell, remained behind, huddled on their dying ship, guarding the valuable fur cargo. Then, on the 15th, a miracle, or so it seemed. A temporary thaw loosened the ice enough for them to stagger over it to the village of Barrow. But when a party went back a few days later, the Baychimo was gone, vanished. Then, the sightings began. Mere weeks later, an Inuit seal hunter named Monroe, traveling near the original site, saw a dark shape on the horizon. Approaching cautiously, he recognized the lines of a steamer. It was the Baychimo, adrift but afloat, liberated by another shift in the ice. He boarded her, finding the hull sealed, the reported leak somehow plugged by the freezing sea itself. He salvaged some furs and reported his find. The Hudson's Bay Company was stunned. A salvage team reached her in March of 1932, but a blizzard forced them to retreat after just 1 day aboard. When they returned, she was gone again. And so the pattern was set. The Baychimo had begun her second life as a ghost. Over the next 3 decades, she would be seen and boarded over a dozen times, a spectral footnote on nautical charts. In 1933, a group of Inuit hunters spent a week trapped aboard her during a storm, using the derelict as an involuntary shelter. In 1934, the schooner trader pulled alongside her, and her crew explored the empty, ice-encrusted vessel. They described a scene of eerie preservation, tables set, cabins intact, but everything silent and frozen. Each time, bad weather, lack of tools, or simple awe prevented her capture. She was like a wild animal that could not be tamed. The legend grew with each encounter. To the Inuit, she was Killaluric, the thing that you find but that doesn't belong to anyone. During World War II, both Allied and Axis forces, aware of the legend, reportedly noted her position, a neutral, frozen participant in a global conflict. The last confirmed boarding was in 1962 by a group of Inuit. They found her in the Beaufort Sea, listing but still defiantly afloat. They took what they could and left her to her wanderings. For a ship declared dead in 1931, she displayed a stubborn vitality that bordered on the supernatural. After 1962, the sightings grew sparse, then stopped. The Arctic, which had preserved her for so long, finally fell silent. In 1969, An Inuit crew reported seeing an ice-filled wreck matching her description in the Chukchi Sea between Alaska and Siberia. It is the last credible sighting. Did she finally succumb to a monumental storm? Did she drift into a remote, uncharted bay and collapse into the shallows, her bones slowly being consumed by rust and ice? Or does a part of her still exist, entombed within a glacier or buried under centuries of silt, waiting for a future melt to reveal her final secret? Her legacy is one of profound mystery and eerie resilience. She is a ghost story that is irrefutably true, a reminder that in the vast, white silence of the North, some stories refuse to end. They simply drift, waiting for the next witness, leaving us to wonder what other secrets the ice still holds. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.